WWDC just finished and the iPhone has been changed forever. Yes, iOS 18 just came out with redesigns, with new features, with new AI. Yes, so many new things came out on iOS 18, iPadOS 18, macOS Sequoia, and so much more. So if you are excited, drop a comment below, subscribe to the channel. In the upcoming days, I will have several videos about on these new OSs, trying out the iOS 18, trying out iPadOS 18, so many more. So if you are excited, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get started. So I think I want to take this video by the order of the event. First, Apple talked about new Apple TV shows, and kind of weird because we saw lots and lots of very famous actors on those TV shows, on those movies. All of these are Apple originals. So this means that Apple TV now is actually building a pretty cool catalog, and I think I need to try it out and review it because I think Apple TV is becoming quite interesting. Lots of original shows, lots of very high quality shows, and especially new Apple Vision Pro content. So if you are into Apple Vision Pro content, if you love fantasy shows, science fiction shows, historic shows, Apple TV seems like a cool thing to watch. So it's free if you buy some Apple products. There are always lots of discounts. Try it out. It's not actually that expensive. It seems pretty cool, at least better than Netflix. That's just a bunch of crap. But of course, putting up all this fluff to the side, Apple started the event with the Apple Vision Pro OS. Vision OS 2 came out, and it was very dull. This Vision OS 2 was pretty small. We only got new gestures to control the control center, we only got new Vision Pro experiences, and we only got new SharePlay features to improve social life on the Apple Vision Pro. So I was quite surprised to see that this Vision OS 2 was still very restricted and not that many updates to this new OS. It's normal, Apple only released this platform like 4 months ago. So yeah, I kind of understand why it's very lackluster in terms of features. But still, it was released, it had some cool features, especially those social life improvements where you can share features with your friends, you can react to photos, react to movies. That would be pretty cool. I think in the future, the Apple Vision Pro will be more of a social device between long-distance friends, long-distance, I don't know, couples. And this could be some cool features, these SharePlay features of watching movies, reacting to photos, and of course, these new features on the Photos app to create older photos into a 3D photo, so becoming 3D from a 2D photo that was never taken in a 3D. I think they are gimmicks, but they are updates to Vision OS. I don't have that many thoughts. I never used an Apple Vision Pro. They are coming to more countries like China, Singapore, Japan. In Europe, they are coming to France, Germany, UK, and then Canada and other places around the world. So yes, it's cool that Apple is rolling out the Apple Vision Pro, but they need to be faster, man. It has been 6 to 8 months now and only 10 countries in total. That's not good enough. But now is the best part of the event. Now is the sweet spot of WWDC 2024. iOS 18. This was so much fun. This was one of the funnest events I've ever watched from Apple. There were so many memes from Craig. Craig is the best presenter from Apple events, for sure. This was very entertaining, but with lots and lots of juice. Yes, iOS 18 changed the iPhone forever, but it's the iPhone 15 Pro. All of these features that I will tell you now will be available on iOS 18 on all devices. And iOS 18, right off the gate, is available in every single iPhone that got iOS 18. So from the iPhone XS upwards, you will get iOS 18. No iPhone died this year. This is exciting for older iPhones like the iPhone SE and the iPhone XS. But you gotta understand, some of features will be restricted to these devices. So you will get some features, but you won't get them all. And there are some that are restricted only to the iPhone 15 Pro. But that for later. First, we got new redesigned home screen. And this is pretty cool because now you can customize your home screen wherever you like, just like Android phones. You can place your icon apps wherever you want to, in the disposition that you want to. You can create all formats and all forms of home screens. It's super cool. You can also change the app icon colors and themes, and you can even change their size. And the widget size also, you can customize everything on your home screen right now. This is very Android-like, but Apple did it in a way that looks better, feels more intuitive to use, and I think most people will love it. So if you love to customize your home screen, especially with those weird tricks with the widgets before, now it will be much easier, so wait for iOS 18. This will change your iPhone experience forever. You can have your own unique home screen with your photos, with your theme icons, with your colors, with a dark mode that puts all of your apps dark and they look amazing, or change all of your apps to yellow to make it even more fun. So my thoughts on these are pretty simple. This is spectacular. This is amazing. Thank you, Apple, for doing this. This will make your home screen your own, unique. If you love it, well, just get creative working on it. There are also new changes coming for Control Center. Control Center will get a huge redesign. Now you can create several pages for the Control Center, several Control Centers inside Control Center. Now you can customize whatever you want to put on Control Center with several new widgets or new shortcuts to use there. APIs will be available for apps to create customizable shortcuts for their apps on Control Center. So most of your customization now will be on this Control Center also, which will also be able to change your home screen or your lock screen shortcuts. So do you know those weird shortcuts that you got on your iPhone, this lantern and the camera shortcut on your lock screen? Now you'll be able to change this. I've been asking this for a while now, and lots of people will do it. So you can change whatever you want to. It'll be pretty fun. And I think it's a nice, fun way to customize your own unique iPhone. Let's see what people do online. There are lots of incredible creative people online that will create insane wallpapers together with the colored app icons and of course the new organization of the apps. So if you are excited for that, well, iOS 18 will be fantastic to you. But there are also more changes coming for iMessage. Now you can send iMessage and program iMessage to send them later, which is quite fun. I was always asking, why can I not schedule an iMessage to leave tomorrow at 9? If I'm working late, but I need to send an iMessage to someone that I just remembered at night, like 2 a.m., but they are asleep, I don't send them right now. I want to wait until 9 a.m., 10 a.m. to send it. And now scheduling messages will be possible on iOS 18. So if you are excited for that, this is a huge feature that I'm super excited for. And of course, iMessage now will have the support for RCS. So you can text Android friends that have Android phones with iMessage. They will receive RCS messages. This is pretty cool. You can share high quality video, high quality photos with your friends. This is one of the biggest updates on iOS 18, RCS support for the iMessage. Of course, you will be also to send iMessage through satellite for free. So you won't need to pay for that extra feature and extra service. Before, if you wanted to make calls, if you wanted to make emergency messages, you need to pay on an iPhone 14. But now, Apple is making it free for you to send iMessages through satellite if you have any type of cellular data. This is pretty cool. If you are out in the wilderness, if you have a clear line of sight to the sky, you can use their satellites to send iMessage, not needing to be an emergency, just because you want to tell your dad how much you love him. So this is a super cool feature. iMessage support when you don't have any type of cellular data. We are getting even more connected day by day. Without any type of cellular data, with our satellites, oh my god, these features are so cool coming for iOS 18. This is a huge thing that lots of people will talk about in the future, and right now we are not giving it its worth. You will also now be able to lock apps with Face ID. So if you want to lock any specific app like the iMessage app, your Contacts app with your face, you will be able to do so. So this is a pretty cool feature for those that have sensitive information on their Contacts app, on their iMessage app, on their Instagram app, Twitter app, that require Face ID to open those apps if you want to share your phone with several people. This is a pretty cool feature, and I think it's one of the biggest ones coming on iOS 18. You'll also be able to hide your apps from your home screen into a specific hidden app folder on your app library. So again, I think that this iOS upgrade, this iOS 18 upgrade is much bigger than we thought. I think this is pretty cool. Again, we got redesigned home screen so you can customize your locations for the icons. No more limitations on that regard. You can customize your widgets, the size of your widgets. They can be blown out to huge proportions. You can now also customize your control center. The control center will be your own unique control center. You can customize your lock screen. Oh my god. You can change the colors for the icons. There are so many things that Apple gave you right now, all focused on customization, plus the locked apps. So you now be able to lock your apps with your Face ID, Touch ID, or authentication method like the passcode. And of course, you'll be able to also hide your apps on the home screen if you want to hide your, I don't know, weird app that you have that you like to play Angry Birds and you don't want your boss, your family, your friends to find out. You can hide that app too. So I think this will bring lots of happy people to iOS, and it's a nice fresh breath of air to iOS. Customization, new cool features. Well, there are even more things coming, but at least right now, these are some cool features. But now Apple introduced a new feature on the iOS, which is tap to pay, or at least tap to cash, which is a feature that you can send money to your friends, your family, just by tapping two iPhones. Just like you can share contacts by tapping two iPhones, you can send money by tapping two iPhones. This is so cool using the NFC chip. So yes, I'm so jealous for you guys that have tap to cash, the Cash app, the Cash card, the Apple card. We don't have any of those things here, and I'm kind of bummed about that. But other than that, we also got some new updates to the Mail app. You can filter contacts, you can filter categories on your mails. Much better. I think that email was a very ancient app on the Apple ecosystem. Now it's been improved with AI and, of course, more things coming later. But I think it's a pretty cool mail app. It will keep me using it. So yes, I think more Gmail-like features, they are pretty awesome. Oh, one thing that I forgot to mention on the iMessage app, now we'll be able to react to different messages using emojis. So just like on WhatsApp and the Messenger app on Facebook, you'll be able to react to messages from everyone on the group chat or even private messages on iMessage with an emoji. This is so cool, and I use it so many times on WhatsApp. So actually excited for that on iMessage. And now the last change on iOS 18, the Photos app. This got a huge overhaul. Yes, now we got a completely new redesign for this Photos app. No more menu tab. Now we got this swipe view feature. Quite weird. I don't know if normal people will like it. I think it's quite neat. I think it's quite well organized, and it will be making it better for artificial intelligence to recognize photos. Now you can filter your photos for videos, photos, and now screenshots. You can remove all the screenshots to have a cleaner library from your view. You can also swipe to the left to change it to the favorite view or even the feature view. So if you scroll down, you'll be able to see your people, favorite moments. You can filter the photos and organize the photos by location. You can organize the photos by people, favorite people, faces, places, whatever. So this will be pretty cool. It's like all the functionality like before, but with a different look, with a different method of organizing it. And I think it's pretty cool. Moving on to iPadOS 18. If iOS was a huge surprise and something very cool, iPadOS 18 was a disappointment, just like every year. It disappoints me every year. iOS 18 was amazing. iPadOS 18 sucked. I don't know how many times we need to tell Apple, make iPadOS 18 or iPadOS in general just like macOS or closer to macOS. Bring iPadOS and iPad closer to the Mac. What does Apple do? They bring them closer to iOS. Someday they will call it again iOS 21. I don't know. Because iPadOS is so similar to iOS that why would you call it a different OS? It's the same features coming to iPadOS 18 that Apple released on iOS 18. So the customizable widgets, the customizable home screen, the colored apps and the theme apps for the home screen. So many new things coming to iOS 18 that are coming for iPadOS 18, but only iOS specific features. Mac features brought to the iPad, none. No new Mac-like features on the iPad. The closest feature to that now is screen mirroring or screen sharing, that you can now control another iPad screen using your own. At least it's quite useful if you want to do tech support to your parents or your grandparents. You can control their screens via your screen, your iPhone screen, or your Mac screen on FaceTime, if that's a useful feature for you. For me, sometimes it is useful, so I will use it, but most of the time it's a gimmick. And oh yeah, menu bars. Now you can turn them into dynamic-like bars on the top of your iPad that float, called floating menu bars. They removed the bars from the sidebars on iPadOS, but you can turn them on again. And oh, they got a new calculator app. Finally, like 15 years later, we got a calculator app on the iPad. It's pretty cool. It's actually much more powerful than we thought. Craig did a great job making the meme and capitalizing on the meme Now, this new calculator app is much more powerful. Oh, this is also spread out to the iPhone. You have a scientific calculator. You have new options for the calculator, scientific calculator, or the normal calculator on the iPad. And together with that, you also have the calculator integration on the Notes app, which is quite cool. If you go into Notes and you write any type of equation, I don't know, a calculus on your Notes app using your Apple Pencil, if you put on an equal at the end, the iPad will solve it. So now Scribble and your Apple Pencil, it will be integrated with the calculator app, so you can draw graphs, change things up. This will be so powerful, this will be so cool for a math class that teachers will be so mad. But this is a very powerful calculator. This was my dream calculator for my school run, but Apple did it a little bit too late. They are like 10 years late for the game. But I love this new calculator. Let's see if it's helpful for my engineering course, but I love at least the concept of it. So yes, you can draw graphs, you can write an equation, the iPad will solve it, the iPad will change the graphs if you change the variables. This is so cool, this is so helpful. And finally we got a calculator app, just like Craig said.
Next, I want to talk about a feat that some may have concluded must be a mathematical impossibility. That's right, we're bringing Calculator to iPad.
Some of the first AI features appearing on iOS and iPadOS can be seen on the new Scribble functionality. So you can now write notes with your Apple Pencil on handwriting, and you'll be able to correct and to change a bit your handwriting to make it even better, even more legible, and look better at all. So yes, this is quite weird, but it works quite well. If it works just like Apple's Keynote, you'll be able also to format your handwriting. So it's a tiny bit of appearance of artificial intelligence, AI, on the iPadOS. These are just the first signs of it, but there are bigger things coming. Trust me. At least, if you saw WWDC, you know what I'm talking about. As for AirPods, we got two new big updates, voice isolation and the nod for answering calls with Siri. So if you nod your head up, it will answer the call. If you nod it horizontally, it will decline the call. Cool features for the AirPods. It's quite cool to see Apple upgrading and updating their current AirPod lineup. Be aware these are only available on the newer generation AirPods Pro. The AirPods Pro 2nd generation, not the AirPods Max, not the AirPods Pro 1st generation, not the normal AirPods. So yes, quite exclusive, but cool features. As for watchOS, it was a quite small upgrade. And I use the Apple Watch Ultra, as you know. This is my Apple Watch Ultra, but watchOS 11 was very exclusive. It was a small update, but very exclusive. They killed support for Apple Watch Series 5 downwards, including the Apple Watch SE 1st generation. So we only got new training modes. These will have Whoop-like features in watchOS, so like intensity workout tracking, rest recommendations, and an overall vitals app that will give you your most important details of your health in a well-organized app on the Apple Watch. And last but not least, macOS. Apple released macOS Sequoia with two new important features in my opinion. iPhone mirroring, so now you'll be able to mirror your iPhone screen and control it using your Mac, keyboard and mouse. This is very cool. It's almost like a universal control-like feature for the iPhone. You can have it wherever you want to on the same Wi-Fi network, and you can control your iPhone, drag files between your iPhone and your Mac, transfer files, photos, wherever you want to. Controlling your iPhone, just like universal control on the iPad, you can use it on your iPhone. Accessing your iPhone remotely, it's a quite cool feature that I love with the Mac. And macOS Sequoia support list is actually quite nice. So they did not kill that much old Macs. They did not kill 2017 iMac Pro. They only killed some 2017 MacBook Pros. Other than that, nothing more. So they still have support for Intel Macs, but I think that most cool features will be available only on M series Macs. And of course, there's the new FaceTime feature and window management feature. The first window management feature, it's almost like Windows. Now you'll be able to put the apps or the windows that you have opened on specific positions by dragging them to the sides, to the top, to the bottom. Just like Windows, you can now actually reorganize your windows quite well. This has been a critique for macOS for a while from some people, but now Apple has fixed it. It's almost like Windows. Now you don't have any reason not to switch to macOS. And of course, there is also a new White System app available for every single device that I talked about, iPads, iPhones and Macs, and Apple Vision Pro, I think, and Apple TV, I'm not sure, that is the Passwords app. This app is so cool because you now be able to actually manage your passwords on a specific app on the iPhone. You don't need to pay for any type of subscriptions. So another type of business killed by Apple, 1Password or I don't know, other apps that made you pay for you to have a password manager, Apple now has one on iCloud chain. Works pretty well. They did before, but now they have a specific app for those that want to have a specific app. Of course, all of these OSs will now be available on developer beta. Do not install any developer beta on your main smartphone. I will install it on my iPhone 13 Pro Max to try out. So I want to have access to the newest and most exciting feature from WWDC, AI. Yes, it's not what you think. It's not called artificial intelligence. It is not. It is called Apple Intelligence. Quite weird, I know, but it's a fun name from Apple. I think it was well played. Well played, Tim Cook. This is a fun way to actually repeat AI several times during your event and call it Apple Intelligence. Well played, Tim Cook. Well played. But this new Apple Intelligence, it's system-wide. So covers the iPhone, covers the iPad, covers the Mac. And this is Apple's new AI. This is more integrated into the software experience than it is a bot like ChatGPT. But it's quite interesting. Now makes Siri much smarter and better than before. It has conversational awareness, so you can actually call to schedule a meeting. You can tell it to book a place in a hotel there. You can tell it to call an Uber, all without mentioning the location, because before you had mentioned the location, you ask for the weather of that place. Also, Siri now has the possibility to actually get files and information from inside apps. So it's much more useful. So this new AI, Apple Intelligence, not artificial intelligence, on the iPhone, the iPad and the Mac will be super powerful. It will be helping you out, writing your emails, your messages, correcting your emails. It will be able to actually summarize Safari websites. So if you want to summarize any type of website on Safari, you'll be able to create bullet points. It will have a new readers mode. So lots of new AI features. Before on Google you had these features, but now Apple is introducing it. And it's quite cool to see it work, and I think it's new integration with AI. It's better than just having a chatbot, just like Microsoft did on their browser. I think this is quite cool. Also got new features for iMessage. You'll be able to generate images to send for people. Images, text, you can generate them all with AI, Apple Intelligence. These will be quite useful to help you out create professional or even friendly emails, and especially, it will be quite useful on the Photos app because it will be able to remove subjects or objects that you don't want to on your photos. So this is quite cool, just like Magic Eraser on Google. This was a rumored feature, now is available on the iPhone with this new AI. But the biggest disappointment of today was not that we didn't got the features for iPadOS 18. That was a huge disappointment, but the fact that these AI features are only available on the iPhone 15 Pro. This was a very devastating news for me, because this means if you don't have an iPhone 15 Pro, this very expensive piece of technology, then you won't be able to use the AI features on the iOS system. So if you have an iPhone 14 Pro, 14 Pro Max, 13 Pro, 13 Pro Max, whatever, expensive iPhones, you won't be able to use it. So yes, I don't know if Apple does have any type of specific hardware inside the iPhone 15 Pro that enables AI features, or at least they are restricting it because they don't want to overflow their servers. I don't know why they are doing this, but this is quite sad. I hope they add better support in the future for older iPhones. I think this will be huge. So if you bought the iPhone 15 Plus 15 in 2023, you won't be able to use these new Apple Intelligence features. These are the newest iPhone availables, and they don't have these new AI features. So yeah, this is kind of a mess from Apple. Other than that, any type of M Mac or M iPad, so M1, M2, M3, they will have these types of AI features. I don't know why, but they are doing so. If you have any type of old iPhone, I'm sorry. If you have any type of most recent iPhone, just like until the iPhone 15, I'm sorry again. Well, I guess if you want AI features, you need to buy the iPhone 15 Pro upwards. And so there's a reason for you to upgrade for the iPhone 16. Isn't that fun? But let me know in the comments below what you thought about WWDC 2024. I think this was a very packed event. So many new features. iOS 18 redesign is insane. love it. These new features are incredible. AI, Apple Intelligence is super cool. It's kind of sad that it's limited to so few devices. And of course, iPadOS is a disappointment as always. As for macOS, very incisive changes that I think they are pretty necessary, because macOS, well, it's a very mature OS, does not need that much changes, needs good changes, needs impactful changes, does not need gimmicks. So yes, macOS, perfect upgrade. iPadOS, disappointment as always. iOS, the biggest upgrade since iOS 7. And watchOS, tvOS, I would say that those are accessories only and they're not very important. As for visionOS, well, that's still very limited, still a very small and niche product. So let's see what Apple does in the next few years. But let me know in the comments below which is your favorite feature from iOS 18. Do you think iPadOS 18 was a disappointment? Let me know in the comments below about that. Thank you guys for watching. While you're there, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. In the next few days, I will have iOS 18 review. So if you're excited, do not forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.